Oh man, oh man, oh man. What a time to be alive. What a time to be nerd-venging. Ladies and gentlemen, don't you worry. I'm on my way. Woo! Yeah! What's up, everybody, and welcome to the show, welcome to the stream, welcome to your Wednesday. Lots to get into today. We gotta talk about, well, a whole bunch of drama, like an insane and incredible, ridiculous amount of drama. Marvel executive getting axed. Insane. DC, Shazam, Black Adam, Zachary Levi, everybody stirring up shit. It's bananas, dude. It's bananas. And then Star Wars holding maybe one of the biggest L's that it's held in a long, long time. And frankly, guys, I think the amount of people that are finally ready to say she's gots to go is at an all-time high. I can't believe it. Buckle up. It's going to get pretty wild on the stream. I'm pulling into the tower. I'll see you in a second. Man, I gotta tell you guys, and I want to tell you right off the bat when we get into this stream, okay, a couple of different things. Number one, I know that sometimes people watch the show or watch the stream with their kids or whatever. I just gotta say, I don't know if today's gonna be the stream for that. I think it's gonna get crazy. I think there will be some expletives, and I think I'll be a little bit passionate about all of this stuff, because the other side of it is, I've been doing YouTube for a while now. I've been covering nerdy stuff, Marvel, Star Wars, and DC for like 5-6 years at this point, okay? And I have never in my life experienced this much. I don't even know like how to describe it. It's like toxicity, but in the fandom and also at the studios. It's like it's just bad, basically. It's just like a ton of bad news. It is, honest to goodness, man. I feel like for the past 2 weeks, almost every single time I come on stream, we have to talk about some kind of negative story. We have to talk about something not going right. And genuinely, this week, man, I was really looking forward to like getting outside of that cycle, getting excited, getting hyped up about some stuff. There's a lot of stuff I am excited for, Marvel, Star Wars, etc. And yet, this is maybe the worst week of news, the most significant and also ridiculous pieces of news that we've talked about in a long time. This is heavy hitting, industry changing craziness. When it comes to Star Wars and DC, it feels like we're going to retread familiar ground. And that's because these motherfuckers keep doing the same stupid things over and over again. And both of their brands are suffering in an incredible way. Now, we're going to talk about a Marvel story that is like crazy, impactful. Like we need to dig into it, but it will ultimately be a W. It's actually really good news. It's actually fucking incredible. And I'm super confident in Marvel's ability to navigate through this and to get onto the other side. There is a little bit of that news that's concerning, which we'll get into. And it's like, oh, fuck, man. Like, I wonder what's going on. I wonder how Feige feels about all of that. But genuinely, and I don't know if you guys feel like this at all or if it's just me, but it feels like the nerdy entertainment beat, the cycle of news, the cycle of information has been getting like dirtier and dirtier. And I don't know if this is just a byproduct of like social media. I don't know if this is a byproduct of like people even at the studios watching either social media or like YouTube and stuff, and basically just being like, fuck it, man. I'll get dirty. I'll roll my sleeves up and I'll get into the shit with the fans. You know, oh, we got a lot to get into. I have a lot of thoughts. I might jump around. It's probably going to be a pretty ADD stream of consciousness stream. But the one thing that just popped into my head was like, do you guys remember a couple of weeks ago, maybe it was even months ago, when Zachary Levi released that video, and he said in the video, like, all this stuff about, like, let James Gunn cook, basically. Throw one in the chat if you remember this. And I actually do want to get into some show notes after this. I'm just like, man, sometimes when I hit live, like, I'm sitting here legit, right? And I'm like, okay, this is what I want to go over. This is what I want to do. This is what I'm going to do for the day, et cetera, et cetera. And then I go live, and it's just like a stream of consciousness. I'm thinking about all these fucking things, all these things, and I just want to, like, communicate them with you. If you recall that video, which a lot of you do, I was critical of Zachary Levi then, and I said it's probably not a good idea in any context to refer to fans as toxic or trolls. Okay? And this tweet, like a lot of my tweets these days, blew the fuck up. A lot of people agreeing with it, but a lot of people harshly disagreeing with it. Even people that I respect, people that I've had dialogue with, like E-Man from E-Man's Movie Reviews. I remember he and I kind of getting into it a little bit in the thread with regards to that. Other people disagreeing with me. And my whole point then, which is going to be a big point I go back to today, is that you've got to be the fucking adult in the room. If you represent the studio, if you represent the IP, you have to be the adult in the room. You cannot steep to the level of internet, of chat, of Reddit, of Twitter, of YouTube, whatever it is. It's different rules, man. Like, we're down here in the muck and the mire. It's the fucking jungle. It's crazy. It's Internet Thunderdome down here. But you can't drag the actual, like, IP representative of the studio stuff into that environment. It is a bad idea. And I think that thinking back then, I already thought he was fucking up. Like, I was like, dude, this is not, you don't do this, especially with the Snyder fandom. Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, what are you doing? Why are you picking that fight? Why are you kicking that hornet's nest? It's absurd. Like, leave it alone. Okay? And yet, now it's like way worse, bro. I don't know. We all on Twitter yesterday? Have you been on Twitter for the past couple of days? And have you seen, because like, and maybe it's just because of, you know, my particular algorithm on Twitter, but I have been inundated with videos, all kinds of videos, people bringing up all this different shit of Zachary Levi, sort of low-key throwing shade at the Snyder fans, just saying that they're super happy about Shazam 2 and like all these different things. I'm just like, why are you even engaging in that? And then I think the real kicker, man, the real kicker for me was when this dude shares on his Instagram the story, which was essentially a Rock hit piece from yesterday. Studio ordered, get the Rock, blame him, hit piece. And Zachary Levi shares this shit saying the truth will set you free. Set you free? Bro, what? What is you doing, man? Holy shit. It is like, it's like they're... Okay, so we're gonna get into all of that. We're gonna get into all of that, okay? But let me talk a little bit of show notes. A little bit of show notes before we get crazy, okay? Show notes, okay? Number one show note. Today is the only stream. Today's the fuck? This is the only stream today. Shut your mouth when you're talking to me. Originally, I was going to do this stream, and I was going to do a stream at 6 where I break down The Mandalorian, okay? I'm not going to do that. Well, instead, this is the stream, and I will talk Mando at some point in this stream. There's good, there's bad, and we'll get into that. And I'll give a little spoiler warning because I know some people have not watched Mando yet. I get it. That's number one. Number two, we have a Nerdventure stream tomorrow at 11. We were supposed to do this yesterday. I apologize. crazy news. I wanted to knock out a couple of videos and work on a bunch of comic book stuff. Tomorrow, if you are a member, at 11 a.m., we're going to stream, and we're doing like a town hall where a bunch of you guys are going to be able to just get on a call with me, like a Discord call, and we're just going to talk it out. And I think it's actually going to end up being really good because after today, after the stream we're about to have, and we just talk about how like DC, Marvel, Star Wars, it's all fucking exploding in front of our faces. Tomorrow's conversation, I think, will be really interesting. A lot of questions, a lot of perspectives to be shared. So I look forward to that. I'll see you guys there tomorrow. I'm also doing a stream with Kendall tomorrow at 5 p.m. on his channel. And we're going to get into the multiverse. And it'll be super refreshing, man, because I'm excited to actually like talk about the dopeness, talk about the stuff I'm excited about, you know, get some good vibes and be talking about the multiverse stuff. Okay. Friday, we are doing a Diamond Lounge stream. Okay. So if you've been a member for 6+ months, and many of you guys have been to the Diamond Lounge, you know what it is. You know what it's like. It's literally always a good time. The stream starts and we start drinking. We start having a good time. And then I leave before I'm too obliterated and I start giving away all of the crazy secrets that I have. Okay. So it'll be a good time. I'm thinking 7 p.m. Friday night. Get into the lounge, crack a drink if you're into that, have a smoke if you're into that. And we'll have a good conversation on Friday. Okay. Okay. I believe that's all the show notes. Chillin', my man. Dude, you're going to like it. It's always a good time. Okay, so where to begin this week? Holy hell. I think we should probably start with the Star Wars stuff because this technically broke Monday night. So let's start with the Star Wars stuff, okay? Star Wars regular stream Friday? Yes, we'll have a regular stream Friday as well. Star Wars is in some serious trouble, which feels so weird to say because I've been beating that drum for like 2+ fucking years. Nobody seems like, oh, god damn it, dude. Like, I've low-key been calling this for like 2 fucking years. And being like, oh, this is not good, this is not good, this is not good. I promise you this will lead to apathy. I promise you this will lead to etc. The brand's in trouble. Some of you guys watch Nerd Theory. You know, I've been talking about it for a long fucking time. I think we have finally reached a critical mass of all the fucking bullshit. And I actually wouldn't be surprised if Kathleen Kennedy is fired in a very unceremonious way soon. Like soon. Okay? That's not capped. I actually believe that could happen. And this mostly has to do with a story that broke really late Monday night. And again, you know, I just want to say 3 weeks ago, Jeff Snyder was not reliable when he was talking about the Marvels, and everybody was really butthurt about that Brie Larson shit. Literally, I had a tweet that did like 1 million, 2 million views just referring to his shit. And like everybody labeled me talking about all this bullshit, got all so fucking butthurt about it. Ever since then, we've conveniently forgotten that he's the same dude that did that story, and he keeps popping off on stories that become absolutely incredible, are shared around by everybody. Wow. Like, that is another thing that just triggers the fuck out of me, right? But regardless of that, Monday night, after Nerd Theory, I'm just sitting there, I'm chilling, I'm playing Midnight Society, actually. Or Dead Drop, Midnight Society's new game, Dr. Disrespect's game. It's fucking cool, man. It's really cool. So, I'm playing the game, and then I see this crazy thing. Jeff Snyder, late night exclusive, Damon Lindelof and his writing partner have left the Star Wars movie. What Star Wars movie am I talking about? The fucking Lindelof Star Wars movie. That's what it was. It was a movie built around him and his brand as a writer. Guys, this is like crazy. Okay, like this is crazy, dude. And I did a video yesterday breaking down the entire timeline of this. Essentially, what this movie is, I'll TLDR it for some of you. What this movie is Lucasfilm took a 3-year break. They have tried to do a myriad of different Star Wars movies and projects. Initially, they lose Dan and Dave. They've lost. There were. It's almost too many to count. But Patty Jenkins, Kevin Feige. There's 2 dudes also that were in talks that I forget who they are, but they also got lost. Sean Levy's apparently not doing his. Taika Waititi kind of like on shaky ground. So at some point, and I think it was like a Puck article or maybe the Ronin reported that Star Wars knows, Lucasfilm knows, they're like really on shaky ground and they need a movie, and they need the movie to be absolutely incredible, and they need the movie to also be out in 2025, right? I need it flawless. I need it yesterday, right? And so the Lindelof movie was the best forward momentum they've had in a long time on a project, and they were ecstatic to get Damon Lindelof. Now, Damon Lindelof is a name in Hollywood. He's a name. He's a big marquee, like, get attention. People know him. People like the work. Name. Created Lost, has done a ton of incredible television, right? So they were building the movie around him, so much so that, you know, Jeff Snyder had been reporting it, just continuing to call it the Lindelof movie. The trades, I believe it was Variety, they also confirmed that it was Lindelof and that was a part of the writer's room and that was a part of the journey, okay? So essentially, guys, they had this guy who was a big name. They're doing the director who was a director of Miss Marvel. Now, she has some Oscars. She has a couple of Oscars for short documentaries. But she's not a name. She's not. Okay? Maybe she'll be a name. If she nails this movie, she will absolutely be a name, okay? But apparently, what happened was Damon and his writing partner turned in a draft mid-February. Mid-February, they turned in a draft, and just days later, they walked away from the project. Last Sunday, Lindelof made comments at South by Southwest. He was talking to, I don't remember who he was talking to, but he was asked specifically about Star Wars. And man, he gave an answer that in hindsight is, it's hot. It's hot. He said, essentially, for reasons that I can't say right now, it's been incredibly difficult. I think he said it 3 different times. He's a writer. He knows what he's doing with that. He also said, if it can't be great, it shouldn't exist. And that's where he's at with it. I was also kind of surprised to hear him say, like, it was the first movie I ever saw at 4 years old in my dad's lap. I fucking love Star Wars. Rings similar to Patty Jenkins' video. Talking about her dad, talking about Star Wars. And look, man, I mean, Star Wars will always be that thing. We have an incredible connection to it. Most of us, it was one of the first, like, movies we watched with our parents. It was seminal. It's a big fucking deal. And so it was crazy to hear Lindelof in the same interview say, I love Star Wars. It means that much to me. It's been incredibly difficult. If it can't be great, it shouldn't exist. So we know now he was already gone when he said that shit. He was already gone. So guys, let me just explain to you, like, what is going to happen from here. And why I'm like, bro, if Bob Iger has the fucking cojones to go over to Marvel Studios, arguably one of the only pillars for that company that is still doing well. Of course, Marvel's having issues. I completely acknowledge Marvel's having issues, but they take out, like, Kevin Feige's right hand. Like, she was essentially his number 2, maybe his number 3. Nate Moore might have been in the mix as well. But this is, like, one of his closest collaborators and leaders and lieutenants over there. They go over there and they boot her, but Kathleen Kennedy still has a job when this has been the pattern for the studio for years and years and years. It's mind-blowing to me, okay? It's mind-blowing. But essentially, what they're going to do now, unless Bob Iger steps in, what they're going to do now is in 2 weeks from now at Star Wars Celebration, they're going to act like this didn't happen, like it's not the Lindelof Star Wars movie without Lindelof. They're going to act like that's not what it is. And they're going to announce this movie for 2025. And essentially, what Lucasfilm has done is they took a 3-year break, fumbled project after project, realized they definitely needed a movie in 2025 or were fucked, built a movie around Damon Lindelof, lost him about a month before Celebration, and yet they got a new writer in there. They're going to move ahead with the movie, and they're probably going to be doing all sorts of rewrites and crazy fixings on the film as they do it to try to force it out in 2025. Does this sound familiar at all? Like, does this feel familiar? Replace Michael Arndt in 2012, 2013 with Damon Lindelof in 2023. It's the same fucking bullshit. It's the same bullshit. What they did was had writers and a good writer essentially try to craft and create a story. They want a product, and the writer just walks. And now they're going to try to like balance that and try to do the same thing that they did before. And you've got these famous shots of like Kasdan and JJ on the set of Force Awakens with that big red stupid script, you know, making adjustments and changing it. And you, by the way, that's not necessarily abnormal. But I think the reason this sucks is because they said they were taking the break to plan. They said this break would allow them to properly assess the future of Star Wars. And they might try to act like that's what they did, but we know that's not true. That essentially they're scrambling again. And I just can't believe it, man. Like, I don't understand what it's going to take for Iger to step in. Like, maybe for a lot of you guys, you don't necessarily know who Damon Lindelof is. You don't necessarily understand how this works. But, guys, they courted this guy because he's a brand. It was going to be the pitch. It was going to be the selling point to get people excited about this next film. And now he is gone. Like, this is like a gut check, kick in the balls type thing, man. Like, I can't even explain how, like, I'm having trouble explaining how bad it is. It's really, really bad. And I just got to say, I think at a time when, again, Iger is saying, like, accountability, and he's going over to Marvel and kicking out somebody that's been with the company for 17 plus years, which, by the way, is probably deserved. But still, you're going to do that. Wow. I can't wait to see Kathy try to field questions about this one. Pretty wild. So that's the first story. That's literally just the first. That was Monday, dude. Okay. By the way, too, just to sort of bring this up, I want to point this out because I think it's kind of fun. I've been trying to like wrap my head around what should they even do at this point? Like, what would be the move, right? And I came up with this idea, which is actually doing really well. Crazy, the amount of people that are seeing this and liking this tweet. But this is honestly what I think. Cancel the 2025 movie. Because, and here's why. Could this movie still be incredible? Yes. That is not outside of the realm of possibilities. But this movie now will, for the entire time that they are promoting it, making it, releasing it, and talking about it, it will always be living in the shadow of what it could have been under Lindelof. Right, wrong, or indifferent, that is just the way shit works, right? A lot of people talk about Ant-Man 1, and they're like, oh, well, some of the best stuff in there was probably just Peyton Reed-esque stuff. People talk about Solo, and they're like, man, I really would have loved to see the actual version of this with Lord and Miller. You know, I wonder what that would have been like. It will forever be that. Unless they get another incredible writer, another big name that could maybe like shift the focus and talk about that. Like when Feige lost Derrickson and he got Sam Raimi, no matter how you feel about that movie, that was an incredible move in like the PR sort of promotion of the film. Like, it was essentially an upgrade in a lot of people's eyes. So maybe if they pulled something like that, it's possible. But I think the movie is now going to forever live in that shadow. I also think it was already a massive risk to do another sequel era movie that is going to show, you know, Rey and some of these other people. I already think that's a stupid decision and a massive risk. Now you're going to set it up in the shadow of Lindelof in this weird thing, and you're going to push it out in 2025? Like, you came up with a writer's room last year, and you're just full steam ahead, even though you lose those writers? I think my take on it, and is this a take that is a little bit jaded by my personal frustrations with Lucasfilm? Sure. But my take is, do not release this fucking movie. Do not make this movie. Do not make this movie. And honestly, here's the take. Do episodes 10, 11, and 12 and let Dave Filoni write and direct them. Okay? Now, why is this the move? And first of all, what do you guys think of that? Do you think that's way too crazy? Do you not think that's good? What do you think? Because this is my solution. Dave Filoni writes and directs episode 10, 11, 12. So before I go into why do you think that would be a good idea or a bad idea? Dave doesn't want that responsibility. Well, let's touch on that in a second. But what do you think? Do you think it would be a good idea or not? It seems mixed. Some people are down. Some people are like, no. Some people are really passionate about it. Others are like, eh. Okay. So let me explain why I think this would be such a good idea. Because right now, Star Wars has like a myriad of different problems, but the biggest one I think is just like, it feels like the Tower of Babel or some shit, where the Star Wars fandom is just all split up, not even speaking the same language. We're not unified at all. The hype and anticipation for any project is viewed through separate lenses, all of these different things. And again, I just think the plan for this current movie they're making is so stupid that it is inevitably going to fall right along those lines, okay? But the thing that just doing episode 10, 11, and 12 would bring, just simply doing that, even without Dave, just doing that, that creates a completely different lens through which we're going to view the movie and the trilogy. Because I think you would have a built-in, like, okay, first movie's going to introduce us to a lot of stuff, and then there's all kinds of speculation and interest in what the second one will be like. Okay? I actually think the sequel trilogy, even though Force Awakens arguably did rub a lot of people the wrong way, it still was very successful. I liked the movie, but it did rub some people the wrong way. And then you have The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi, I think, is pretty disastrous for Star Wars. But you still have a billion-dollar movie in Rise because people need to still see how it's going to go. And there were a lot of folks like myself in theory that were like, man, I wonder if the 9 will make 8 better. Do you know what I mean? And so there's this built-in anticipation and idea that you're going to have a certain thing in Act 1, a certain other thing in Act 2, and then a resolution in Act 3. And that built-in anticipation and story structure, I think, would fix a lot of the problems. Like right now with Mando, which I like, it feels so meandering and so random that there's not a lot of hype surrounding the show. There's still an audience, and I think people still really like the show and talk about different things. They did an incredible Glub Shitto this week. That's like the best Glub Shitto I've ever seen. But it's not the same thing as, like, if you think about Marvel, what the anticipation is like for Kang Dynasty, Secret Wars, the threads of a larger story coming together. That idea in and of itself is really sort of saving Marvel, even though a lot of their quality has been dipping. It's the discourse and the energy of the fans is still usually forward focused and in anticipation of what happens next. So that's number one. I think just doing the trilogy is the way to go. I think it's such a weird idea to be like, okay, so the lesson we learned from our time making Star Wars movies is let's make a movie that is after episode 9, but isn't episodic, is not going to be focused on the main characters, and will be a new story in this new time period. It just feels so weird. Like, why not episode 10? I like, literally episode, even the name, even just saying it, like, episode 10, there's a certain, like, energy, gravitas, like, interest that goes there. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2, dude, like, we're talking about, like, story. We're talking about, Star Wars doesn't feel as good. Star Wars is all these different things. Star Wars is all this, that, second, and the third. It feels almost like a charcuterie of, just different people's interpretation and take of Star Wars. I think giving Dave the writing and directing, it means at the very least, we're going to return to a singular vision of what Star Wars is in that trilogy. So even people that don't like the prequels, and there were a lot of people at the time, there are still people that don't like the prequels, I think most people acknowledge it still felt like a cohesive vision and story for the world as opposed to the sequels. The sequels are not that. Like, not even close. So you'd address, I think, one of the main issues with the sequel trilogy and with Star Wars in general. On top of that, it's such a no-brainer connection to George Lucas. I see a lot of people saying, like, bring George back or, like, sell it back to George. And a lot of that's, like, ridiculous, right? And, like, my brain, it just kind of just puts it into a non-rational category. Because I'm like, that's not going to happen, right? I would love for it to happen, by the way. I too, would cheer and do the nub-nub dance and everything, right? But that's not going to happen. It's the same thing of, like, the people that think Netflix should get the rights to the DC characters so that Zack Snyder can continue. Like, guys, that's a beautiful dream. But there are so many, like, rational things standing in the way of that happening. It doesn't make sense. But the next best thing would be The Apprentice. The fucking dude that studied under George. And the idea of him writing and directing. So much interest. By the way, even the conversation of, like, can he actually do it? That's actually still a better conversation than most of the conversations that are in the fandom right now. If they announced it and they said, Dave Filoni's writing and he's going to write and direct the next trilogy, episode 10, 11, and 12. He has some ideas, but this shit's not coming out till 2026, 2027. And Dave's after Ahsoka. Dave's going to go work on this pretty much full time and just have that massive script, have that massive, idea directing, and we're going to set him up for success. That and the conversations that would surround that would literally be better for the lifeblood of the fandom than what's going on right now. So I think this would change the fandom and the conversation immediately. And I also happen to think that he could do it. I certainly think he would do a better job than what we got in the sequel trilogy. I absolutely think that. And it could be weird. It could be very different. It could do bold things as Dave has done his entire career. He does a lot of bold stuff in his animation. I expect a lot of crazy bold stuff in Ahsoka. On top of that, the buzz for Ahsoka is very good. And so if Ahsoka is a hit, and then you say the guy that's the apprentice of George Lucas that just had this hit that everybody loves is going to write and direct the next trilogy. I'm just telling you, like, I think that is 100% the way forward. The only thing that's really standing in the way of that is, number one, Hollywood just stupidity, right? And they still view him and it's not just like producers and stuff like that. It's financiers, it's studio heads, it's everything. They still view him as the animation guy. That could change after Ahsoka, but they still view him strictly as the animation guy. That's something that's standing in the way. And the other thing that's standing in the way is the fact that Dave now has like this other bigger creative control job. I mean, he doesn't even really have much to do with Bad Batch anymore. Like Bad Batch is kind of on its own. He like co-wrote a couple episodes this season. I don't even know if he's directing an episode of Mando this season, right? So, yeah, there's some things kind of standing in the way, but I still just think Dave would be the guy, man. And at this point, they need a Hail Mary. It's that bad. Some of you might not agree, but I'm telling you, it is that bad. They need a fucking Hail Mary. They need something that is going to shock, excite, They need something, man. They really do. So for me, this is the move, dude. This is the move. I'm pretty curious to see what Celebration is going to be like now. Again, in the wake of this massive L. What is there to necessarily celebrate at Celebration? Whew. Like that is a tough one. Can you imagine? But I don't look. That sucks, man. Like that sucks. Like being Kathy right now. I can't imagine what it was like losing them. Like I can't imagine the sinking in your stomach, the just horrible feeling that had to be like. Like I can't imagine. You know, from everything we've heard behind the scenes, the culture over there is timid, scared, and they understand they need a big hit. So it is. I cannot imagine what that was like. And, you know, in my opinion, and this isn't, you know, necessarily clarified anywhere, but in my opinion, considering Lindelof's comments and considering the fact that they left the project days later, it has to be studio notes. Like, it has to be the studio reading the script and coming back with, like, all these notes. And I bet Lindelof and his partner looked at the notes. They were already kind of trepidatious. Maybe because again, this had been out there, right? The Lindelof story, it had been out there. We were talking about it. It was a big story. So I wonder if they're sitting back looking at the discourse, especially because it's a sequel era movie, right? And I wonder if they just kind of like looked at the whole thing. They looked at the notes. And the notes were like, well, what if Ray did this instead and like showed up and kicked the male character in the balls and like threw him down an elevator shaft or something, right? And they're probably just looking at it and just like, nah, man, like I can't do this. It's sad. Like it is sad. Like it is a sad fucking state of affairs over there. Holy shit. So that's the first story. That was Monday, okay? Okay, so let's get into some other stuff here. What do you guys want to talk about next? I guess we should talk about the next thing that happened, which was the firing of Victoria Alonso. The firing of Victoria Alonso. Did I at least like Mando? I thought Mando was decent. I got to be honest, I didn't love it. I didn't love Mando. We'll talk Mando. We'll talk Mando a little bit later. I felt like the flashback stuff was really good, but there's I don't know if y'all are having this experience with Mando, but I'm like, bro, what are we doing here? Like kind of low key, what are we doing here? Because as great as the Glub Shido part was, do you realize it answered basically 0 questions? If anything, it gives us more questions. So we'll talk Mando a little bit. We'll talk Mando later. Let's save it. Oh my God, bro. What is happening, bro? Again, the weirdest time ever covering this nerdy shit. The weirdest time I've ever experienced. I've never experienced a time like this. It feels like the sky is falling for all the major IP. It's ridiculous, okay? So let me sip this coffee, let me chill out, and then we'll talk about Victoria Alonso. My God, bro. This was earth-shattering news. Oh, this actually happened on Monday, but I didn't get to cover it until Tuesday. And technically, she was fired on Friday, okay? And look, was she fired? No. According to Grace, she was asked to leave, which is a pretty common thing. She was fired, bro. Let's just call it what it is. She was fired. And I actually did. I mean, look, I knew Ant-Man was bad, and I personally hate that movie. I despise that movie. You guys know. You know. I hate that movie. Like, I really don't like it, okay? But even I didn't think it was that significant of a bomb where, like, heads had to roll. I was just like, yo, like, they put out a literally not finished movie that sucked, and I'm really frustrated. Fuck you, Marvel. And then they, like, delayed stuff. They, made all these problems. I'm like, okay, cool. Secret War's still happening? Okay, cool. Okay, but I'm definitely frustrated. But apparently, it was so bad that Bob Iger just fired a lady that's been with Marvel Studios since its inception. She was with this company 17 years. She was almost there 20 years, dude. 17 years? And she was like this tight with Feige. Like, they were like this tight, bro. Okay? Basically, she was promoted in 2021, which, by the way, we talked about a couple of weeks ago, right? I think even Trev, God, I hate giving him credit, but I think even Trev was the one to bring it to my attention that she was promoted in 2021 and may directly be a part of why the VFX shit was falling apart. Okay? And it's so weird because I put out a video. I think we did the video on Monday, and I was talking about what's really wrong with Marvel and how to fix it, right? And a couple of things that I talk about in that video was wokeness, and I was like, this is not what's really wrong. And then there was the visual effects, and I said, this is not what is really wrong. Now, both of them are potentially still issues, but I don't think they're the core issue at all. I still don't think they're the core issue. But the thing that's kind of wild about Victoria Alonso is that she's absolutely a very vocal person in so far as her political ideologies and how she thinks they should literally affect Marvel. So, she has that famous thing where she was talking about the X-Men, and she said essentially that's kind of sexist and that it should be like X people or something like that. She literally said that, which to me is like, I always say a lot of that like woke or anti-woke stuff is low-hanging fruit. It's meaningless. It doesn't like matter at all. But the tricky thing about it is it's absolutely triggering. Okay? And the culture war, like the reason it's so prevalent is because it is so triggering. Because you can say that, right? And then the moment a culture war thing intersects with something you actually do give a shit about, and it's so crazy out of pocket, you're like, fuck all these motherfuckers! You know what I mean? Like, that's essentially what it is, no matter what side you're on. That's it. That's how it goes. That's how she goes. Okay? And that stuff that she said about X-Men, it sent me, dude. It sent me. I felt like making 200 Brie Larson hater-esque videos about Victoria Alonso. I was like, what is this bitch talking about? What is this bitch talking about? Now you're telling me the goddamn X-Men are not woke enough? It's like, I was literally just playing Magic with my buddies last night, and I forget what came up, but it was one of those just like, my buddy called it his like SJW Kung Fu or something like that, where like my buddy said something about something, and then we were like jokingly like saying that he wasn't progressive enough and he was making all these assumptions, like, did you just assume her gender and stuff like that? You've probably had these conversations before. The Boys makes fun of it too, right? Girls Get It Done, etc., etc. A lot of this shit is theater. A lot of this shit is just way too much. She literally like did that. She literally did a Boys-esque, out of touch, the X-Men shouldn't be called men because they're ladies and that's not progressive enough. She literally did that. Okay? And it triggered the fuck out of me. I tried to just let it go, though, because, like, my attitude on it, again, was like, it's just low-hanging fruit. She's just speaking. There's no way Kevin Feige's going to allow that to happen, was my take. I was like, there's no way Kevin Feige's going to be like, yes, they should be called the X people. I was like, there's no way, right? So I just, let it go. It happened years ago, by the way. More recently, of course, and by the way, I love that we have to talk about this shit. Absolutely love that you have major corporations chiming in on political theater issues in battleground states, and I absolutely love that we now have to go there. But she was very vocal about the whole Florida bill thing, DeSantis, then blah, 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 right? So, look, of course, and obviously, you can feel how you want to feel about that. And I think that even people in positions of power like that, it's not necessarily wrong for her to speak up about these issues. I think where it becomes not even necessarily morally wrong, but just business-wise stupid, is the fact that it's not just some arbitrary thing that's going on. It is something that your actual company, the one that employs you, is embroiled in, right? And obviously, I think, and you guys know this about me, I think all the culture war stuff is you should usually be very hands-off with it because it's just, again, it's super triggering for everybody. So why would you want to alienate anybody, even if it's something you really, really care about, if you're in a 4-quadrant, family-friendly, mass appeal company? That's what you do, right? Your mileage may vary. Some of you guys probably are like, I feel like she's a champion of ideals and things of that nature. I completely get it. It's only important insofar as it caused waves and may have also cost Disney a lot of money with the revoking of whatever exempt status they had there. Okay? So, two kind of big things that rubbed a lot of fans the wrong way directly associated with Victoria Alonso. This is, by the way, why Kevin Feige keeps his mouth shut about all of this. He probably has strong opinions, but he also knows better. You know what I mean? And I think that the right move is say less. Okay? But those two things, in my opinion, are not really what was like the final coffin, the final nail in the coffin for Victoria Alonso. The big thing, which is, it's so interesting that a person like this that is presenting themselves as this very progressive champion of representation and things that matter, I'm here for the downtrodden, was essentially damn near slave driving these VFX studio houses. And that's really the rub. And I think that's the real reason that she was let go. In 2021, she was put in charge of basically working with the different VFX houses and Marvel Studios. Marvel Studios, they do some internal visual effects, but they don't polish. Okay? They just don't. So they outsource those jobs to a lot of different VFX houses. And the VFX houses are in a really weird, precarious spot, which we've actually talked about way before she got fired. We talked about this, right? Because the sort of catch-22 that these studio houses are in is Marvel is the biggest job provider. They provide the most contracts. They're like, I don't know, 80% of the industry out there for these VFX houses. So you need to have a good relationship with them to get the work. But they are also the worst fucking clients possible from the perspective of the VFX houses. Mostly because there are things that happen where Marvel will make a last minute change or, we actually need it to be like this because this tested better with Bob Iger's grandkids, so we're going to change it. And then they go to the studio and they expect it to be done, changed very, very quickly, and it's very stressful. This is actually, by the way, why a lot of leaks came out from that situation because, well, people were working on this stuff and they fucking hated it and they hate Marvel, they hate Disney, and they also were working from home. So they leaked a bunch of shit. This is where a lot of the leaks come from, too. So I wonder if, from their perspective, Disney, Victoria is not only causing this friction, drama, and really toxic relationship, which is starting to actually permeate into mainstream news, and is also partially responsible for where leaks came from, like 4K shots of Andrew Garfield and Spider-Man No Way Home. And so I think that's like the main reason as to why she was axed is the VFX stuff. But the reality of it is this. I think that it's a combination of many different things. But it's really the fact that she was a major part of the culture creating over there. She was very likely taking a lot more responsibility off of the plate of Kevin Feige as he focused on Secret Wars. And I think many Marvel fans were feeling this way throughout Phase 4 and Phase 5, where we're like, we really do wish that Feige would have stepped in more, asserted himself, and basically did what he did in the Infinity Saga. If you remember, a lot of the conversation during the Infinity Saga was, well, even directors at Marvel don't really direct. They have a second unit, action directors. You know, you come in and you fill a slight role. Feige controls everything. Essentially, Feige's the one that's just making all of this stuff. I hope you guys remember that was the narrative back then, right? Moving into Phase 4, it seemed like he really loosened that up. We heard reports that he and Chloe Zhao clashed a lot about that movie, and he essentially just let Chloe win. And I do wonder, at some point, was it Victoria Alonso siding with Chloe, telling Kevin that maybe we should go with that, right? We've also heard some really weird quotes out of Feige about She-Hulk. Like, he had notes about how the robot wearing the hat was silly, but other than that, he just leaves it hands off. And I think one of the reasons this is such a difficult topic is it's so inciting and it gets people so upset. But I think it actually could be the case that certain people and certain situations were not interfered with because of the optics. Meaning, if Feige is making a She-Hulk show and he beefs so hard with Jessica Gao that he fires her, the big white male producer firing the woman of color making the feminist show is horrible optics. Same thing with Eternals, right? And I think many of us feel that there was a lack of accountability, even in-house at Marvel, that unfortunately was due to optics. And firing Victoria Alonso is the clearest signal I've ever seen that we're not playing that shit anymore. She was with the company 17 years. She's a member of the LGBT community. She's either Latin or Latino. She's a woman, of course. And she gone. So it feels like there's a lot going into that story. There's a lot operating there. Signaling. Maybe an olive branch to the VFX people. Maybe a real sign of change to come. Now, ultimately, I actually think it's a good thing. Okay? I actually think it's a good thing. I do wish Feige would just literally take his fucking hand and shove it up these people's ass and work them as a puppet. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about these people's vision. I don't give a fuck about their individuality, their expression. I don't give a flying fuck about any of that. I give a fuck about fire-ass content, dope shit, going to the theater, having my mind blown, screaming, oh, shit! You know, I care about the experience of the fans, the legitimacy of the property. And so in that sense, I think this is good. Now, here's a small caveat. And this is actually kind of like legitimately concerning. And I wonder and I hope and I pray we are not actually seeing the first domino in a series of dominoes that's just going to make us lose our fucking minds. But the one thing that I actually think is kind of crazy about this is I wonder how Feige is feeling. And I hope that he has the gusto, that he has the vision, the fortitude to just walk through this, get through this, and just make great shit and just, reclaim his position as like the greatest producer, right? But I personally, if I were Feige, I'd be taking this as disrespect. I would be very upset with Disney and Bob Iger, and I'd be considering my options. And holy shit, if this trickles down to losing Feige, then Bob Iger fucked up. Do you know what I mean? So I am just a little bit concerned, just a tiny bit concerned that's the way that it could go down. And oh man, that would be a disaster. That would be, in my opinion, really, really bad. So that's your second story from Monday. Third story. I'm shocked that this is where we're at. Okay. Okay. DC. Wow. DC. I don't know if I expected Gunn and Safran to come in and completely change the culture over there. Mainly because Safran is a part of the old regime. But I damn sure didn't expect this. And I do wonder, and some of you guys are going to fucking eye roll yourself into oblivion when I say this, but I legitimately wonder if an example being set by the president of the company where you're literally like doing mom basement jokes with fans, that poor guy, I do wonder if that's a bad example as a leader to set for the entire fucking company. I don't know. You tell me. You tell me. What just happened? Well, Shazam! Fury of the Gods is one of the worst box office bombs in a long time. Literally worse than Morbius, which bombed not once, but twice. So funny. Like, honestly, it's pretty hilarious, okay? The movie is, it's really, really bad, okay? It's really, really bad. And everybody took it great. Everybody took it great. You had David's, what's his name? David Sandberg? Is that the guy's name? You had him chiming in on Reddit posts, which, by the way, the irony of trying to dunk on Reddit and call them all toxic when you replied to somebody on Reddit saying that you got paid up front and you saw where this was going a long time ago. Bro, these people have lost their fucking mind. He's like low-key throwing all kinds of shit, talking about toxic fans, talking about how Reddit taking things out of context. Oh, Reddit takes things out of context? I had no idea. I had no idea that the hive of scum and villainy, literally just a smidge better than 4chan, fucking Reddit, takes things out of context. Holy shit, you don't say. This dude out here talking, complaining, whining about it. Oh my God. Ridiculous. Saying how he's done. He wants to disassociate. He's done with comic book. This dude literally turned in a massive record-setting box office bomb and then basically said, everybody's mean. I'm taking my ball and going home. I'm done with the superhero shit. Wow. Okay. So then you have that. But at least Zachary Levi's going to take it on the chin. At least Zachary Levi's going to be the adult in the room. And oh, wait, he's just as immature as when he plays the fucking character as to when he's online talking about this film. It is unbelievable. It is unbelievable. And Vito, that's a ridiculous amount of money. You definitely don't need to do that. Thank you, but also, you don't got to do that, bro. I appreciate you, though. I really do. We'll get into that in just a little bit, okay? Let me just stay mad for a little bit here, okay? This dude's literally talking about the Snyder fans, like talking about how these fans are toxic and they're cheering him. It's crazy. Like, look, here, let's do an experiment. I'm just going to type in Shazam onto the search bar on Twitter, and we'll just see what comes up. Imagine if you're like a grandpa, okay? And you're like, well, the Shazam movie looks kind of fun. Oh, my son has this Twitter app opened up. I'll just type in Shazam to the search bar and see what people are saying about it. I wonder if I'll go check it out. Memes. Grace, this is insane. I hope The Rock doesn't take the bait and doesn't respond. A Hollywood Reporter article with Zachary Levi and The Rock on the goddamn image. Zachary Levi backs report that Dwayne Johnson nixed post-credit scene in Shazam: Fury of the Gods. What the fuck? How is this even, like, what? And don't worry, we'll get into that article, but let's just keep going here. Oh, another post here. Big post, 65,000 views on Twitter. Can we get some toast retweeting this? Zachary Levi knows he's done, and now he just doesn't give a fuck. We should have gotten Black Adam versus Shazam and Superman movie, but The Rock's ego got in the way. Is there some truth to that? Absolutely. But here's the other truth, the bigger truth, the more relevant truth. Grandpa doesn't know what's going on, and he damn sure ain't going to see this movie. It's toxic as fuck, dude. Zachary Levi's Instagram right here. The Rap confirms... This is unbelievable. The Rap confirms that in Shazam: Fury of the Gods, the Justice Society from Black Adam were recruiting Shazam in the post-credit scenes. The Rock denied access to David F. Sandberg, had to make a last-minute decision to add James Gunn's wife. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson attempted to restructure the DCU centering around the loved Henry Cavill Superman. The Rock didn't allow Zachary Levi to cameo in a post-credit scene for Black Adam via the Rap. The truth shall set you free. This man was like, I'm going to go roll in the shit. I'm going to literally roll my sleeves up and I'm going full on in to the shit. Insanity, dude. And you know he did this shit on Instagram because The Rock is the Instagram guy. You know? Rock literally gets more views on Instagram than motherfucking Shazam 2 did. So you know he's trying to put this shit out there on that. It's so fucking crazy. But let's keep going. Big old post here of what could have been. I actually do agree with Daniel there. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was reportedly furious when Warner Brothers executive asked him to shoot a cameo as Black Adam for Shazam: Fury of the Gods. When Zachary Levi walked in and attempted to help de-escalate the situation, Dwayne unhinged his large jaw and swallowed him whole. Source Deadline. I believe it. And just keep going. Warner Brothers intern that was tasked with reminding Dwayne Johnson that Black Adam is a Shazam villain. Yep. Another take here. It's ridiculous trying to only blame The Rock for Shazam 2 flopping. Truth is, no cameo was going to save that movie. Anyway, I'm also not buying the marketing excuse when it had a whole Super Bowl commercial. Shazam 2 was not good enough of a film to get people to go. Period. I agree with that. And on and on and on. That's just what it is, man. And this guy had a really good take. I don't know if you've ever seen this guy's Twitter. I already thought the Tom Cruise piece was desperate, but now they're playing dirty. We already knew Rock wanted nothing to do with Shazam, but now we gotta act like that would have saved a stupid movie with zero hype. The reboot has way more to do with this. You know the thing that nobody's actually answered for me? How is a cameo from characters we already know are not going into the reboot, because Dwayne had that, Dwayne had that meeting with Gunn already. How would the cameos to the thing we've confirmed is not staying going to save the Shazam movie? Can anybody explain this to me? Does anybody have an explanation for that? I saw Humberto Gonzalez yesterday. By the way, I like Humberto, but he's a total tool and puppet of the studio system. As a trade reporter, that's usually the way the gig goes. But man, he loves to help Warner Brothers out. So yesterday, I saw Humberto, giving one of those like, hey, big report coming. Okay? And at this point, most of you guys, and definitely me, we know the fucking game. We know what it is. They're pulling out fake Tom Cruise stories on a Friday to try to get you to think about The Flash rather than the Shazam movie that you already decided you weren't going to see. Okay? We should know the game by now. And so when I saw him talking about that, I tweeted and said, I bet it'll be beloved director or writer is loosely attached to a DCU project, because that's usually the game. Usually the game they do is, well, this other hype thing could take your mind off of all the bad things, the negative stuff that's happening for us right now. That's usually what they do. But damn, Warner Brothers, under the leadership of Gunn and Safran, basically decided, let's go full on into the shit. And let's try to do a hit piece on The Rock and remind everybody that he was trying to take over DC. I'm honestly still in shock that they did it. I'm shocked that it took hold because it was trending and everybody was commenting on it. The thing that's crazy is we already know this. By the way, I've already clowned on Rock for this. It is silly. How's he going to take a character that is the antithesis of Shazam and want nothing to do with Shazam? It is stupid. It is ego. That movie was a vanity project. None of these things are wrong. But The Rock took his L, he made peace with it, and he walked away. This is adolescent, you can't sit with us, Mean Girls type behavior. It is the same Warner Brothers that it's been for, 7, 8, 20 years. Why would any director, any serious talent, want to go work with Warner Bros? It's the same thing that's going on with Star Wars, by the way. You know what? I mean, we don't know for sure why Damon Lindelof walks away, but it has to at least be in part because he knew what he was walking into. He probably became more aware of where the state is with the fandom, and he didn't want to deal with that. It's the same thing going on with Warner Bros. How are they going to get anybody to sign up? Because Hollywood and movies and the industry is full of egomaniacs. It's full of power plays. It's full of stuff that you could spin up and talk about in a super negative light, but it used to be the case that you'd be tactful, that you'd be mature about it. You wouldn't put out the dirty laundry, right? And for whatever reason, they are super triggered by Rock, and they're literally trying to get you to think that Dwayne's decisions for his own movie are the reason that Shazam 2 is flopping the way that it is. I just can't even believe that this is where we're at. And the how is this good for anybody? Honest question for you guys. Honest question for you guys. As far as from the players that we're talking about here, the people that are concerned with this. How is this good for anybody involved? Does anybody have an answer to that? Like, how is this good? Who does this help? Yeah, 100%, Trev. And that's the other thing that's crazy is, like, you literally have James Gunn at the end of last year firing motherfuckers, like, in a row, Everybody's going out to Twitter to say their little speech. Gunn backs it up in this like super vague, like I'm a nice guy way. It's such a mind-blowing, stupid, horrible, the wheels are falling off strategy. I honestly, like, it's so wild, man. I fucking hate him, dude. I hate the Warner Brothers leadership. I hate the lack of maturity. I hate the fact that they're just going to, we're just going to do what the fans do. Talk our shit. Internet Thunderdome. Oh, really? Is this better now? Is this better discourse? This is a better environment to cultivate a fan base, to build up hype for your projects? What are you guys doing? People would have just laughed about Shazam all week and literally forgot and moved on. And now you've created even more animus, even more frustration, more discussions, more headlines. The focus now will linger on Shazam and Levi and Rock all week. And by the way, if Rock respawns, you've got a whole bunch more. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So, I mean, to be honest with you guys, I'm at a place right now where I'm like, wow, Star Wars fucked. DC fucked. Marvel not fucked, but being fucked with. And it's just, again, it is the weirdest time for me covering this stuff ever. I have never experienced something like this. I really just think they're doing an incredible amount of damage to the entire industry. That's what I think. So, that's the third story. And I think now maybe we just get into Q&A, talk about with what you guys want to talk about. I want to remind you, too, if you are a member, tomorrow we're going to do a stream at 11 a.m., and it's going to be like a town hall. So you can jump in. You can literally just be on the call, say your piece, bring up the things, whatever. We can talk about it. There's a lot of shit to talk about, right? So I think tomorrow that's going to be a lot of fun. We'll take our time. We'll hear from a lot of folks, and we'll really just discuss it as a community. Because again, I just think it's so bananas. So come on by for that if you can. But we'll, of course, get into Q&A today. I'll read through the super chats. I'll hang out in the chat. That's all. I mean, that's what it is. That's what it is. We need a dub, man. Like we need a dub. Oh yeah, let's talk Mando. Okay, let's talk Mando a little bit. Yes, talk Mando. Talk Mando. Slight spoilers, guys. I'm gonna go into it a little bit here. I think though, if you're already on the internet, like I woke up this morning before I watched the show, I was like, I'm not going on the internet, bro. And then I watched the show and I liked the episode. So if you don't want spoilers, chill, get out here for like 5-10 minutes, okay? So here's the thing about Mando episode 3. They did a really incredible cameo Glup Shido thing with Ahmed Best. And if there was ever going to be a character that saved Grogu that wasn't Palpatine or Anakin, it's this guy. Like, that's still a massive W for the fans. And we all can see immediately why it's so cool. We know that Ahmed Best, he was just really treated badly by the fans. And by the press. By the way, if you ask Ahmed Best about this, he actually says it was more the press than the fans. He's on record talking about that. I tend to agree. Because the press, like, they did what they're doing now, Fucking stupid as fuck. So he was Jar Jar, right? He was the actor that played Jar Jar Binks. He also played a Jedi Master in this version of American Gladiators they did with Star Wars kids that they stupidly just released on YouTube. Anybody know what that show was called? Like Jedi Trials, I think, or something like that. And in that show, the Jedi Trials, they canonize his Jedi. They're like, no, this is an actual Jedi in canon, okay? And so I assume it's the same character from that saved Grogu, okay? And, like, I can't lie, I can't front, I loved it. I thought it was great. As soon as I saw him, I thought it was great. I was also immediately taken out of the story. Immediately. But I still loved it. Jedi Temple Challenge is what it was. Cool. So, I loved it. However, I did not love the actual episode. And, there's a lot of things I don't like about the episode, frankly. You know, at the end of the day, it's like an episode where the Mandalorians are all training. Grogu can do flips and shoot paintball darts. Big old bird thing steals the one kid. They go after it, but they can't like go after it. Bo goes after it, but we don't see it and comes back and knows where it's at to set up the mission for everybody. They go out there, stand by the fire underneath it, crawl up the thing. Like the whole, I gotta, like, if I'm being honest with you, it was contrived, is the way I would say it. It felt contrived. It felt like they were like, okay, we need to train. We're going to edge this plot forward. We're going to establish this kid being Pre Vizsla's son, the bonding among the Mandalorians. So we're going to need something crazy to do that. We can't just do that with exposition. What if a crazy pterodactyl thing came in and then we went on a side mission to like accomplish all of our stuff? And it's just like, it's fine. It's not bad. I want to be clear here. It's not bad. We're not talking about fucking Kenobi. We're not talking about Book of Boba Fett, which Boba Fett actually did have some good episodes. It's not bad. It's just, I think, not enough. I think, man, I don't know. That's my take. I don't want to get too far into it. Here's I think the best way to like indicate my feelings towards Mando. I went from being incredibly excited of this season, doing a watch party and doing a breakdown, to then saying, I'm not going to do the watch party, but I'll still do the breakdown, to then saying, I'm not going to do the breakdown, I'll do a stream where I break it down, to now today saying, I'll talk about it a little bit on stream. That is the journey I have been on with The Mandalorian Season 3. I still like the show. I'm still excited for the rest of the show. But I this ain't fixing shit. This is not going to fix all of our Star Wars problems. This is not the droid I'm looking for. So there's the Mando take, okay? Josh is never satisfied. That's not true! It's not true! Are you guys all mad at me? Is everybody mad at me? Yo, if you're really mad and you think I'm never satisfied, throw a 1 into the chat. Let's just see. If you're all mad at me and you think I'm just a hater, throw a 1 into the chat. Chat, track down everybody that put a 1 into there. Ban their asses, dude. Get them out of here. This is not a democracy. This is a Josh Tatership. Hey, you're all out of here. Okay. Let's get into the Q&A. Let's go over the questions, super chat, member chats, and then I'll hang out in the chat, okay? Okay, first in today was Tubular Tommy. Says, why doesn't Rob/Geek Culture make vids anymore? I mean, look, I can't speak for Rob. I believe that, yeah, I don't even want to say some of the stuff that he and I have talked about. I think at the end of the day, YouTube is a stressful job, and I think Rob was not getting out of geek culture to explain what he wanted to, and I think maybe he's re-examining that, but he's just kind of more focused on his other channels. So that's all I'll say on that. Tony Zillich, welcome to the Nerd Ventures. You are a Nerd Venture now. Appreciate you. Donnie Snooks says, I don't know how I felt about low-budget Mace Windu saving Grogu. Sure. I get that. It is one of those cameos that I'm sure it kind of went over a lot of people's heads. Like, if you're not super sweaty, you probably had no idea who that was. But it's big enough that it's trending. People are talking about it. I think it was a good idea. They need more of that. I just also think the show should have, like, more of a direction. My only problem with that sequence is it explains nothing, right? So, like, we had visions of that scene playing out where it would be Anakin or Palpatine. They would take Grogu, and that would mean, oh, shit. He was important to the Emperor. There was something going on there, dark side. Now, all we know is that he got out of the temple, which we already knew. He was aided by this Jedi. He may be going to Naboo, because it was Naboo people, and that's a Naboo ship. That's all we know. So it doesn't really answer any of the questions about Grogu. You know? XA says with the $20 holla, very generous, man. Thank you so much. Says, okay, so not even a week ago, I was talking about an adaptation of Gears of War and even had a fanfic. Now Netflix is developing that with the Doctor Strange and Dune writers, movie and shows. Yes, I did see that. And I think we're at a place right now where, and maybe, because look, Hollywood is a town full of copycats, right? And so I think when you got stuff like The Boys succeeding in the way that it is, when you have Top Gun Maverick succeeding in the way that it is, I think you're going to see a lot more like, I don't necessarily want to say male focused. Maybe that's not the right way to say it, but it seems like a little bit more of that like adrenaline based, grittier type stuff. It feels like that's the vibe. You know what I mean? So it's it. I mean, look, I love Gears of War. I think I loved playing those games. I think the lore is really cool. So that would be cool. That would be cool. And you did kind of call it. Eli Thomas says, my little baby boy is getting surgery right now. Watched Mando and Bad Batch on the drive up. Thanks for this community as I wait in the room. Damn, dude. Prayers for your baby boy, man. That would be so scary. Whew. Yeah, man, that would be very, very tough for sure. So, heart goes out to you, Eli, and to your son, man. Hope everything will be okay. XA says, do you think the success D&D movie will have partly because of Stranger Things? Like, D&D was trending after the last season of Stranger Things. A little bit. I could draw a line between those two. Stranger Things did a lot for Dungeons & Dragons. Stranger Things is actually the reason I got into Dungeons & Dragons. But Dungeons & Dragons has sort of established itself over a long period of time. A lot of people love that. And there's things like Critical Role and then, Vox Machina. And, like, there's, like, Dungeons & Dragons is pretty fucking big. If you're not in the community and you don't check out the content, you probably wouldn't know. But, yeah, Stranger Things has something to do with that. But it's already been kind of on the rise. And so I think then this movie's going to come out. By the way, this movie's going to make $1 billion, not because it's a D&D movie. That's not going to be why it makes $1 billion. It's apparently an incredible movie. Like just a fucking banger. And I think that's going to be the big reason. You'll get a D&D crowd to push people for sure. But if it wasn't like awesome, I don't think I would be saying what I'm saying right now about it. That dog Husky, welcome to the Nerd Ventures. You are a Nerd Venture now. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Coral says, everything is fine! Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. Jar Jar is back. MCU is amazing. What's a DC? Oh, wait, we are fine. I promise. No, really. Ah, babu. Damn, Carl. That was a roller coaster ride of a super chat there. I appreciate you. But damn. That was wild. I do think everything will be fine, but I also can't get out here and act like we're not going through a week where Victoria Alonso got axed. Kathleen Kennedy lost another major Star Wars collaborator. And Zachary Levi and The Rock are having like a literal Twitter beef. I can't act like that's not happening. So I hear you, Carl. But I also need to... We talk about what's going on. You know what I mean? Jimmy B says, Josh, do you think Feige might be at risk? Alonso was recognized as an issue and had to go. But if Marvel doesn't perform, they're only one more level to go to get accountability. Yeah, I think... look, I watched Grace's stream about this. I felt like she had some really good takes about it. And I do think it is as close as you can get to firing him without firing him. And yeah, he should probably be nervous. And I got to say, right now, I would freak out if Feige left. But if we go through all of 2024 and we eat mid after mid after mid, I don't know that I would actually freak out. We're heading on a trajectory that's like really scary. But again, I think given everything that I know, it's being changed. I mean, they slammed the brakes on, dude. They delayed everything except Guardians 3. They delayed everything. Like, I think Secret Invasion was originally going to be like a May spot. It got pushed. Loki Season 2 was going to come out before Ahsoka. It got pushed. They slammed the brakes on. And I personally think if it's just the fact that Feige slowed everything down and now he's going to have a very personal, very assertive attitude on every single project, then we win. Then we win. And I think that's what's going to happen, right? But yeah, good question. Martin says, me and my friend just finished rewatching Season 2 of Mando, waiting to binge watch Season 3. Alonso Gonzo and Charlie Cox is looking fire. That's true. Charlie Cox looks great, man. Charlie Cox looks great. The drip is crazy. MCU, I guess they got better suits and whatnot. Yeah, that is fun though, man. I appreciate it, Martin. Kroll says, hey Josh, sorry I haven't been in the streams too much. This kid is killing me, LOL. But what did you think of Mando, Nerd Ventures for Life? I thought it was decent. I liked the Glub Shitto. But I'm a little bit like, can we get going here? For Mando? Tristan Ring says, dropping in during work to say, shout out to Ahmed Best. Hope you're doing good, Josh. Where can I send you the link to my Lego Jedi Temple when it's done? Much love. Twitter's the best way. Appreciate the support, Tristan. Twitter is the best way. Tag me or send me a DM. Blake Torres says with a $10 holla, says, love your streams, Josh. I have a job interview tomorrow, and I'm at the gym right now trying to figure out how these many have a Wednesday off. Much love. Bro, and first of all, I appreciate the love. I think a lot... Yo, here's one. Throw a 1 into the chat if you're at work right now. I think we've got a lot of people at work watching the stream. Plus, it's okay to throw something. Jesus. Y'all's bosses are going to watch this shit and be like, oh my God. Holy shit. But I mean, you can watch something in work, right? I mean, what are you even doing really at work? You know? Don't tell them. I know, right? Isn't that wild? Oh my God. So there you go, Blake. There you go, man. Dylan, welcome back to the Nerd Adventures. Appreciate it. Tiberius Monk says, Lucasfilm, make a KOTOR trilogy. Get some banger directors, writers, and cinematographers, and this will restore Star Wars. Great content, Sir Josh. I really appreciate it, man. I think KOTOR would be I'll tell you this. KOTOR would be way smarter than trying to do a pseudo sequel to the sequels with Rey. Oh my God. Can you, like, it actually does fucking amaze me. It does amaze me. So, yes, that would be a better move, the KOTOR stuff. 100% agree with that. Thanks for the love, man. The Exodus says, Lindelof's HBO Watchmen was an awful desecration of the IP. It was a bad show. Personally, I'm glad he won't be touching Star Wars. So, let me address this. First of all, your opinion is your opinion. That's all good, man. I strongly disagree. And I gotta say, when I first watched the Watchmen show, maybe episode 1 and episode 2, I was furious. The idea of trying to make it seem like Rorschach was associated with like actual racists or, you know, like all that sort of stuff. I was like, bro, what are you doing? And it was very triggering. However, if you actually watch the entire show, it's a really interesting way he's peeling back layers. And I think they're even revealed to not really actually be what they claim to be. I found the show to be really good. I thought it was actually incredible. But it starts off in like almost like an intentionally triggering way. I wonder if that was like his strategy there. And also, Lindelof is controversial. So I get it, right? If you don't like that kind of stuff and you're like, nah, man, I just want my good old-fashioned shit, then yeah, Lindelof, maybe not a guy you're going to get really excited for. I respect your opinion. I have a different one. I liked it. And I love Watchmen, dude. Like, I'm like, that is my shit. Maddie V with a 5 spot says, they literally cast Grogu's Jedi Savior as a glorified children's game TV show host. Look at Star Wars Kids Jedi Temple Challenge LMAO. So bad, dude. Well, that is a take. Does anybody else feel that way? Like, is anybody else like, yo, fuck that cameo? And did they hedge their bets by making it Ahmed Best? Are they playing like some 4D chess where they're like, yo, we're about to kick you in the balls, and then it's literally the guy that y'all bullied into almost jumping off a bridge? So if you say a fucking thing about it, you're toxic? Holy shit. It's a trap. It's a trap. They're like, oh, we're going to get you this time, Star Wars fans. If you say a goddamn thing about it, then, yeah, wow. There's a thought. The thought occurs. Zachary Thomas, welcome to the Nerd Avengers. Really appreciate the support. The Hanger Bay Dymo says Dave should write, John should direct. They're better as a team. Dave better at writing than John. John better at directing than Dave. Imagine the lore of Clone Wars in the style of Iron Man 1. It's a no-brainer for me. So I do understand that, and it's not like I'm going to sit up here and say, like, no, that would be horrible. Of course, that would be awesome. But I think, and this is just my perspective on it, right, is that it actually, I think, the most un-Disney shit they've done to just give it all to Dave. Because Star Wars started as a project and a pitch that was laughed out of the room. Nobody thought would be successful. And it was literally just the writing and directing of a singular dude that, like, blew this universe into existence. People were like, hell nah, bro. And he did the same thing in the prequels. He just, like, and it was weird for a lot of people, right? But it was at least coming from that vision, from a place of a storyteller that understood the world and had a vision for the story they wanted to tell within it. And I think at a time when Disney is like, it's a commodity, it's a product, it's content, to then turn around and say, we are literally going to give the whole damn thing to just some weirdo nerd art tourist guy that actually studied at the feet of George Lucas. It's the most it's the antithesis of the decisions they currently make. I think it just do John and or just make Dave the writer and director. If you look at Dave's episode of The Mandalorian and you look at Ahsoka, and we have seen very little of Ahsoka, it is his version of Star Wars. It's not even George's. It feels familiar because it has a lot of that same idea, those beats and the mystery. But like Dave's Star Wars in that episode felt very Eastern, very Kurosawa. It had a different vibe. And I really and truly want to see what this guy would come up with and actually put on the screen if he was given the whole gig. That excites me. But I do understand the point. I mean, obviously, Jon Favreau is great. Okay, XA says, 3 episodes later, 2 fillers, and we still haven't seen Mando getting the parts to put IG Unit back together. Has he forgots about him? Yeah, that's a good question. And also, I think we're halfway through the season, too, which is the other kind of scary thing. We're halfway through the season. And that's kind of where we're at, right? I mean, yeah. I don't necessarily think it's filler. I just think it's bad pacing. You know? Yeah. Renee says, I'm calling it by 2024, 2025. Josh is going to be asking for Kevin Feige's head. P.S. Please don't tell my wife about this. Nerd Vengers for life. No! Hopefully not. Hopefully not. I don't think so. The dog Husky says, what's going on, Mr. Josh? Thoughts on Bad Batch? I actually have not watched Bad Batch yet. And after I get off this stream, I have a lot of like writing to do and recording for other videos because I'm trying to get back into like some positive, speculative rumors and leaks videos for Marvel. So I'm going to dig into that. Haven't seen Bad Batch yet. If y'all saw Bad Batch, did you like it? People on Twitter were telling me it's better than Mando. What do you think? Is the new Bad Batch better than Mando? Crazy. It's really good. Loved it. It was lit. Wow. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm excited to check it out. Jenna says, my girlfriend thought Wilson in Castaway was made by Spalding. Should I break up with her? Don't need those brain cells in my child. Yeah, man. No, that's not a keeper. Captain Ziggett says, once my boss stopped by my machine when you were raging and being goofy about something, and he was like, what the fuck are you watching? LMAO. I can imagine. I can imagine, dude. I bet y'all get into some real trouble. Wait, did I miss a bunch of super chats? What is going on here? I'm going to go back and try to catch up because it feels like I missed a few. Would they drop an Ahsoka trailer at Celebration? Says Philip. I hope so, bro. Like, that would be brilliant. For real. Dark Dragon says, someone could probably make a DCU docuseries about the drama between DCU and DCU. It would probably be more entertaining than 95% of the DC projects. I agree with you there, brother. It's so sad. John Moran says, with everything going on at Star Wars and DC and Marvel, it makes me glad I got into anime. The One Piece is real. Dude, yeah. I've been so focused on my comic book, and I'm starting another one, and I'm really excited because, like, I just want good stories, and I want, like, I don't know, man. It's time. We need some freshness. We need some new shit. Saw some clown on a post about guns say, I'm getting worried. These standard fans are violently insane. I'm worried somebody gonna... What are you talking about, dude? That's some crazy shit. I don't even know what you're talking about. Ralph Boner of Star Wars. This feels like a joke. Look, I liked it. You guys are pulling me to the dark side about this cameo. You guys are pulling me to the dark side about the cameo. I like the cameo. It's pointless, stupid, glub shitto, no focus, doesn't do shit for the story, but I liked it. Stop trying to get me to see it for what it is. Holy crap, you guys, so toxic. Neil says, I would say we need some funny in our life. Quasi from Broken Lizard, Super Troopers, Beer Fest on Hulu, 420. Oh, really? I love the Broken Lizard guys, man. That's cool. Chillin' in the Basement says, hey, brother, I thought Mando was pretty good. Bad Batch effing slapped. Can't wait for my first Diamond Lounge. Take my money. No Adventures for Life. P.S. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is canon. Holy shit. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., man, I miss the days that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. being canon was the biggest concern and the most triggering thing. I miss those days. The Hanger Bay Dymo says, you got any hype for all the new Avatar, The Last Airbender announcements? I haven't really seen them, to be honest. Is this about the Aren't they like redoing the anime or whatever? They're doing a new animated show. Is that what it is? Okay. Let's keep going here. Jedi Mike says, my boss always has me doing the work. No Adventures for life. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Jamro says, did Marvel get rid of Victoria and slow down production to make the VFX houses happy? Also, mandolin editing is killing the story. Mandolin editing. You talking about the Mandalorian editing? Is that what you're saying? No, I didn't read your super. Let me read it right now, Vito, just because I feel like I'm like lost on the supers today. Okay, so Vito says, with a ridiculous, way too much money, I hope you charge this back, $100 super chat. And he says, it's going to be okay, bro. Keep doing nerdy things and have faith. The night is always darkest before the dawn, and trust Veed, the dawn is coming. I have seen a little bit of the future, and things will get better. Much love, everyone. Love the episode of Mando. This is the way. Damn. I appreciate that, bro. I mean, first of all, that's a crazy amount of money. Tiberius Monk, thank you, man. You're a nerd venture now, baby. You're a nerd venture now. But I really appreciate the sentiment of that message. It's a weird time. It's a weird time. But I do remain positive, at the very least about Marvel. Legitimately, I'm very positive on a lot of the stuff that we're doing. But it is a weird time. It is a weird time. I hope that we can navigate through this and just get back to like awesome nerdy stuff and speculation and hype and all this fun stuff. But it does feel weird, yeah? Yeah. Yeah, that's true. We will be hyped tomorrow, Kendall. That'll be good. And as far as the Jamro's question, I do think it was sort of an olive branch to the VFX houses. I think it's also an optics move. I think Bob Iger is like, here's the thing. When everything's going right, you can let a lot of that shit slide. But when everything's going badly, you need to signal and you need to make some fucking examples. That's why I'm like, bro, fire Kathleen. Fire her. Fire her today. Fire her yesterday. Cancel the movie. Fire her. That's it. The Dog Husky says, speaking of work, here in, is that New Zealand? It's not even 6 a.m. yet. It's also Thursday. Shout out to all the nerds. Holy crap. Thanks for that, man. Up early in the morning, talking about nerdy shit. Come on by the Den of Nerds live, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Y'all remember that song from back in the day? Brian Lara says with a $10 holla. Thank you for that. Says not to be dramatic, but it's weird as a nerd to be a fan and be in this mid to bad limbo. But kind or refreshing and hoping for quality content in the future. Yeah, it is weird. No, I'm trying not to be dramatic either. I'm trying not to be dramatic either, but holy shit, is it weird right now. And just the whole climate, all the conversations, the product itself, it is strange. Nick says, so I guess we saw Bo get the rumored Mythosaur armor already. The leaks made it seem like a bigger thing than what we actually saw in this episode. Absolutely they did. I don't necessarily blame Jason for this. If I had that information, I'd probably feel the same way that he did. And I'd probably come to the same conclusions that he did. But yes, it actually seems as though that aspect of the story is not as significant as we once thought. And it is still absolutely possible that we're headed towards something with Din Djarin instead. But it is what it is. I don't necessarily blame Jason for that. RJ, with a very generous $22, thank you so much, man, says, do you think the success of The Last of Us video game adaptation will make Lucasfilm consider or reconsider KOTOR? I wish that was the case. I wish I could say, yes, I feel like that's true. Unfortunately, I don't. And I don't think that they have any, like, she's just so wildly out of touch, man. Like, I feel like Kathleen's takeaway from The Last of Us success is like, what if we did a zombie Star Wars show that made everybody sad every week? That's like what I think that the logic is there. RJ Phillip with a 10 spot. Thank you for that, man. Says, hey, Josh, I'm taking the L on the D&D release. We have so many early viewings. I thought it was this weekend. Still going to see it. KK will be fired before Star Wars. Sully, thanks for the great stream. Nerd Adventures for life. Hey, I appreciate it. And I want to go see that movie early, but I'm going to see John Wick 4 this weekend. I'm going to see John Wick 4 this weekend, and I am hyped up, man. We got a sitter. My dad's coming up to watch Liam, and I'm going to go watch John Wick murder motherfuckers for like 3 hours. Let's go. Very excited. Wave says, hey, Josh, just wanted to inform you that you won the Star Wars Shill of the Week award on last night's Knights of Melvin Duel of the Canon stream. Well, that's probably the greatest honor of my life. So thank you for that. The Second Son says, Mando 3 felt like an SNL sketch and not a good one. 5 out of 10. Damn! Greed Pack says, dude, I'm happy Ahmed is back, but announce his role. He showing like that completely took me out of it, bruh. Yeah, same. Big same. I mean, like, I still liked it, but I was immediately like, it's like you might as well fucking pause it and go to Twitter. You know? Holy shit. Chibouise says, do you think New World Order will have Sam take the extra step as the new Cap and realize he needs to assemble Earth's mightiest heroes? What is your new 7 members? Yeah, I think something like that might happen for sure. And as far as the members of the team, I mean, I think it's going to be probably like Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, maybe not Miss Marvel. So Captain Marvel, She-Hulk, Sam, Shang-Chi, I mean, yeah, it's going to be like those people. And by the way, I know who the actual Avengers are. And I could go look at it if you guys want me to. But, yeah. Yo, why did Veed's Super Chat not show up here? I'm going to refresh this page real quick. Yeah, his message is not on this side of things at all. That's so weird. I feel like I'm missing some messages. Did I miss? No, I know you guys see it, but I don't see it on the back end here. Yo, did I miss some messages today? Weird. You see it as a mod. Yeah, but okay, so like I'm in the stream settings here and I'm looking at like the viewer activity. And I just don't see it anywhere in there. Good thing I clicked on it. Can you imagine a $100 super chat and then like I think I can read and then I can't actually read it? Like it doesn't go through the thing? Like, oh my God. You've never seen my back end though? Bow chicka bow wow. Didn't that happen to Theory on Monday too? Well, slightly different. He uses a different software than me, but yeah. Okay. Let's hang out in the chat, guys. What's up? Getting his back end out? What the fuck? What else is going on? Is there any like positive shit out there? What else? Oh, thanks, Maddie. I'm gonna go to the gym later. I did another cardio session yesterday. I'm actually starting to feel good on my cardio. Theory showed his back end. Did he? My lineup: Captain America, Ant-Man, Captain Marvel, Spider-Man, Shang-Chi, Shuri, and Doctor Strange. That's a good lineup. That is a good lineup. YouTube is fucking up with gifted memberships disappearing. Wow. Is there Invincible news? Dead Drop looks so fun. How the fuck do I get a key? Well, you either have to get one gifted to you or you have to spend $25 on one. And it's so tough, bro, because I love the game. Like, I want my buddy to get it so that we can, like, play together. But I just, as much as I love the game, and, like, I'm legit. You guys want to watch me play some Dead Drop? I'm actually legitimately having a great time with the game. But it is not worth $25 in its current state. It's like I can't actually go out there and tell people, get the game. You know? Like, it's kind of weird. Like, I really enjoy it. But it is not worth $25. It just needs more functionality. Like, there's not even a way to queue up together as a party. It's like pre-alpha to the max. But, yeah, it's pretty good. Does 25 cover all alphas and betas? Yes. Apparently, that is the biggest selling point, in my opinion. It's like, yes, you'll have access to all of the stuff as you lead towards it. So. I'm cute, you're mad, says, I drive for work, so I'm usually listening to the streams, but I can't help take a peek when Babu makes an appearance. Hey, there you go. Hey, there you go. The date for Secret Invasion is a secret? Oh, I see what you did there. I see what you did there. Okay, I'll play a little bit of Dead Drop with you guys just because I absolutely love the game. Show you what it's about. And by the way, too, I love the music, bro. Check this out. Oh, I have to be clicked over here. That's kind of annoying. Okay, we're going to go a 0 to hero run. It's early access. Get my controller plugged in too, or turned on. In fact, let me make sure that's good. Dude, I love this music! Every time I click away, though, it doesn't play. That's annoying. So I've got this sniper with a bunch of stuff on it. Here, I'll put it on just so you guys can see what it looks. Look at this gigantic sniper. It's pretty crazy. But I'm damn sure not putting that at risk. Got a couple cool blue rifles. But yeah, that's what we're looking at for the stash. So we'll just go in and do a 0 to hero run real quick. Matchmaking failed to start. Okay. Why? I mean, maybe I have to restart it and give it a go here, but that's crazy. It's literally just saying matchmaking failed to start. All right, we'll try it again. Yeah, no, it's a test run. It's a test run. I get it. And to be honest with you, there might be a new version of the client that I have to get. So... Matthew says, thoughts on Mando. I've kind of already given my thoughts on Mando, but basically I liked the episode, didn't love the episode, but I liked it. I liked it. Okay, cool. We're looking for a match now. Yeah, liked it, didn't love it is basically my score. PRL Natty says, hey Josh, noticed that every episode of Mando has ended with Bo-Katan. Does that mean something? I just noticed today. Yeah, I kind of feel like they are positioning her for something pretty crazy. But I don't know, because it also feels like it might be going a different way than we originally thought. Soren says, I'm glad Lyndall Loft is gone. Who the F cares about him, and what the fuck does he even know about Star Wars? Hopefully they just have Dave be the main writer now. Yeah, maybe. He apparently loves Star Wars. I think he's a good writer. I think he's a big name. So, but I get you. Yeah, Ray, same. I am super excited. Super excited for Ahsoka. Yeah. Okay, so let's see where we're at right now. It's usually a little laggy at the start of the game, which isn't that uncommon. Oh, and you know what I just realized? I have an open mic right now. So there's probably people around me that can hear me, so I gotta kind of try to be... cool. Hey everybody, let's be friends. Let's be friends. Oh, hello there. How you doing, dude? Hey, let's be friends. Yeah, where you at? You think I'm above you?
Yeah. Can you be friendly?
I'm friendly.
Right.
I'm so friendly. I don't know if I am actually, but I'll try to come up. Yeah, what's up? I'm sorry. What'd you say? Do you have some good loot?
I think I'm below you.
You're below me?
Yeah.
Hello?
Friendly?
Oh yes, I'm friendly, but I don't think we're actually by each other.
Yeah, I'm right here.
Huh?
Walk around. Yeah, I'm still below you. You hear like the helicopter pass?
Yeah. Wait, there's another guy. There's another guy. Hello. Are we all friendly?
Don't shoot me, bro.
Yeah, let's be friendly.
Yeah, don't shoot
Coming up
me,
with
man.
no gun.
All I have is pistol.
Chill.
Wait, that other guy's shooting.
No, it's me. Yo. You're cracked, dude.
That other guy, did he get you? Oh my god. This guy had loot like you wouldn't believe. Wait, what? Oh, fuck. Fuck. What the fuck, bro? There we go. I can't believe that guy killed that guy, you know what I mean? Hello?
My friend,
Hello?
just want to get out of here, man.
All right, so let me ask you a question then. Seriously, can we both take the chopper?
I don't know, man.
Well, look, man, I've got some incredible loot, man. I gotta get out of here too. I don't know what to say, bud. I mean, what if I drop you a good piece of loot? I drop you some loot. I'll take the chopper, and then we'll. But there's other people probably coming too.
Oh, man. Time running out for me, I guess.
Look, let's just. Hey, whoa, hey! I thought we were friendly. What the fuck, bro? What the fuck? Hey, you better not take my shit. Oh, dude, and I'm right by an extract and I got no good guns now. Dude, what the fuck? Wait, oh, everybody saying karma? Yeah, right, bro? Y'all don't know? Oh, it's karma, Josh. Hey, hello, friendly. Nice. Okay. Now let's GTFO. Okay, you see how the freeze is rising up here, guys? That's like the... Instead of having like the storm and shit. What the fuck? Alright, we got out. So, instead of having the storm, it's a deep freeze that goes up. And so you have to like continuously go up. I just got a good opportunity there because I got like all that loot and there was an extract right there, so I was like, fuck it, I'll get out of there. But yeah, that's a nice little haul. So we got this gun, which I'll just set in there. Okay, we'll do another run, but hang on. I want to see. Is there a way to do like push to talk with the audio? I don't see it. Why I'm so boggled is that we waited 2 years for Ralph Boner and somehow everybody is okay with it because of Glup Shitto. Bad Batch was good though. I hear you, man. Trust me. And the thing is, I think the more important thing is that when you have that discussion going on, it really just means that there's so many cracks now that the hype and the excitement is not... Like, it's almost like if you're thinking about the plot holes in a movie, the movie's done a bad job because the movie should hide all of that, suspend your disbelief, and you should just be chilling.
Yo, what up, guys?
Yo, what up? Hey, friendly.
Friendly.
I'm just trying to get some good loot and get out of here. You know what I mean? Yo, I was playing a game. Dude, I was playing a game the other day where like 5 or 6 dudes were just camping that top platform. And it was so annoying, man. They were just like killing everybody trying to get out.
Yeah, he would be doing that.
Where you guys at?
I don't know actually where I'm at, but...
Yeah, I don't... I hear a bunch of people near me. Hey, don't say that.
Yeah, you don't do that.
You don't say that. Dorothy Mantooth is a saint. You understand?
I'm a little demonic,
Yeah.
but I promise I'm very nice.
Okay.
The fuck?
Okay, cool.
Name
Cool.
I chose. It doesn't really fit me sometimes, only whenever I get angry.
Ah, yes. Like the Hulk.
Yeah.
Right on.
I think we read a movie called
I think so.
So while we're all gathered here, who's got the best yeah? Anybody got a good yeah? Nobody? Yeah. Whoa. That scope is a little too much, to be honest with you. Like, I legit don't like that. Oh, shit. No, you don't.
But we want to be friends with you.
No, I want to be friends with you. What the fuck? That was planned. I planned that.
Yeah, I believe you.
Yeah. And I definitely know how to get back up there, so you just wait. Oh, what the fuck? No! I'll be back for you. I'll be back for that ass. I'll be back. I'll be back for that ass, bro. I'll be back. That was weird though. Me and that guy like couldn't shoot each other. Yeah, he did shoot more accurately, but we both kind of sucked. I'm gonna be honest. That was not good. Give me that fucking. Hey, Josh, I think Filoni and Favreau played it safe by going with Ahmed to save Grogu. They didn't want to step on George's toes. Maybe. Maybe. It's an interesting one. I think it's great. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, I still like it. But, yeah, it's a little weird for sure. It's certainly not as hyped up as it could have been. And it's hyped in a very weird way. Like, it like, takes you out of it. You know what I mean? Ooh, hello. Let's go. 8 times? Oops. This would be nice to see some people in the distance now with this scope. Whoa! That's a little crazy. Why does it do that? Like, why does it do that? Okay. I don't fully understand the ADSing on that, but alright. But like, here's the thing. Like, I'll talk a little bit about just the game in general. Like, I really like the feeling of it. The loop itself, like, is actually really fun already. The pushing up as everything goes vertical with the freeze is really fun. The loot's cool. Legitimately having a lot of fun with the game. Whoa, what if we caught somebody? Ooh. That is way too... I need to change that down. ADS sensitivity. Is that a 1? Try that. I mean, it's still really jumpy. That would be the spot, actually, though. That's where I'm going to go. Hopefully I... Oh, psh, really? That's the loot there? Really? Where's everybody at? Whoa, whoa, hey, oh. You're supposed to say go in karate. What? What the fuck? Oh, I'm coming for that ass. Yeah, it's hyped in a very weird way. They should have just brought back Jar Jar. Yeah, that's true. You know what else I was thinking about too? I couldn't help but have this this feeling when they put the new pauldron on Bo. First of all, way more lame than what I imagined when I was like, she's getting a mythosaur armor. Holy shit, right? But also, like, is this a red arm? Is this a C-3PO red arm situation? Like, are we going to sell Bo-Katan figures with a different pauldron? I don't know. Maybe I'm just so, like, bitter at this point, you know? Like, it's just weird, bro. Like, oh, man, a different pauldron. Holy shit. I need to get my guns and shit back, dude. Can I just get back there? Hey. Okay, so they took a lot of it, though. Let's go get him, bro. There's only 4 people left in this map. That guy was this way. He's probably going this way, though. Oh, hey, buddy. Oh, hey, Mr. Guy. What's up? Can't we be friends? What? Should have known he had my sniper. Damn it.
I only have your stuff. I have my stuff, bro.
No, you had my stuff.
Actually, somebody else's stuff. I also do have.
We'll do another one. I'm just gonna do a couple games and then we'll go. And then we'll get out of here. Hey, Mike, thanks for the 10, man. I appreciate it. Was it that guy all 3 times chilling? Oof. Oof, disgusting. Disgusting. I didn't get the spending the night thing. The boy would have been devout. I also thought that was stupid. Same guy? Disgusting. Hello, everybody. Let's all be friendly. Look, Dead Drop is a family. Hello. Hello, how are you? Good, man. Just chilling, you know? Just big chilling. On a Wednesday afternoon. Playing this on my work terminal, you know what I mean? Stupid boss. Hey, what the fuck? I thought we said friendly! Hello? Hello there? I hear shooting, guys, but I thought we said friendly. What the fuck? Hamster, no! God damn it. I usually do way better when I'm not on stream. It's the curse of the stream. I mean, I'm not on stream. What's up? Give me that shit, dude. Fuck. Whoa, 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 whoa! I'm coming for that ass! Oh, I guess I'm not. I already died 3 times? Alright, we'll do one more. Josh really isn't good at this game? What the fuck, Joey? Ah! This is given trying to snipe with the wingman and Apex vibe? Yeah, maybe a little. Yeah. Alright, now I actually have to have a really good run just to prove you all wrong. So there you go. Show some of your Warhammer figures? They're all in the next room right now. Maybe I'll show them off someday. 0 to hero run. Let's get it. Now I have to prove myself. Feels like Halo 2 with more weapon slots. A little bit. The combat, the flow of the game is a little Halo-esque. Like, a little slower, more methodical. The gunplay actually has a surprising amount of depth to it. Hey, you're awful at the game? Come over by me. Hey, you don't say that. Are we gonna team up? What the fuck? Claw ruthless bone, you son of a bitch! I was looting! Where's he at? Where's he at? Ooh. Can you believe that? I was looting. How rude. How rude. Num nums. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Gimme, gimme, gimme. I'm sorry, man. It didn't have to go down that way. Oh, okay. Oh, can't do that. Can't do that. Uh-oh, the freeze is rising. The freeze is rising, guys. Let's all work together. Wait, damn it. No, I fucked up. Now I'm going to get frozen down here. Really, bro? Really, Gamma? That's what we're doing? That's the kind of fun we're trying to have today? Ooh. Ooh. That's kind of nice. Now, where? Ah, there it is. Yeah, that would be kind of fun, detoxing, to see his head. Hey, man, let's be friends.
No shot.
No, it was a good shot, bro. It wasn't no shot.
Shut the fuck up. I wasn't talking about you.
Oh, sorry. What the fuck? No! Ah!
To be fair, didn't you kill that guy?
I might have.
Oh yeah, so you know, I mean, you're definitely not friendly.
No, I was though.
I mean, you weren't though.
Okay, fair. GG's. It's pretty fun, huh?
Okay.
So that's what I mean. Is like it's pretty early, right? And there's some things that I wish were different. But I'm actually like having a blast. Like I think the gameplay loop is fantastic. I think the gunplay is very cool. It's actually way more in depth. Like it almost has a CS:GO type vibe of like how specific and accurate and like really pinpointy the gunplay can be. Platforming is good, needs a little bit of work, but there's a lot of like room on the map. Like the map design is really cool. And then the gameplay loop with the proximity chat is like really, really fun. So I think the game is fantastic already. I just don't know if it's worth necessarily $25 for what you currently get. But I have high hopes for the game overall, and I think it's pretty cool. So I had fun with it. Okay. Any other last minute questions, guys, before we get out of here? Yeah. If you can get a key from someone, because they give a bunch of keys away. If you get some keys like for free, or if you get even a discount code, I think you can get a discount code. Maybe worth it. If you really, really love like Doc and you just really want to be a part of it or whatever, like that's why I did it. It's like worth 25 to me. But is there any Marvel leaks? There are, but nothing too crazy like recently. There's some stuff about Secret Invasion, which I was thinking about doing a video on. And then I'm going to do a big video on like Secret Wars being split up into 2 parts and that kind of stuff too. So, appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here. I got to get on out of here though, okay? Much love. As I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video. Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? You know what? We got through it. And hopefully we start getting some really dope news, some really hyped up stuff moving forward. And we could just transition into that. Why's it gotta be like this? The fuck? Appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow on the member stream. I will see you tomorrow on Kendall's channel. And then I'll see you on Friday as well. Make sure you open up that third eye and wash out your stinky butt. I'll see you later.